What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing Ready to Love. This is season 5, episode 12. Decisions, as Tommy would say. So before I get into the review, I do recaps of reality shows. They're pretty much in detail. I don't hit every single scene, but I go over the most important details, as well as pick up some details you may not have seen along the way. And as I said in the intro, I am YouTube's #1 commenter. So that's what this channel is all about. It's all about the comments. I don't say hit that like button, give me your subscriptions. I don't need none of that. I need you in those comments because, you rocking with J-Dub for real. You're a part of the Dub fam. You're going to do that anyway. So, and speaking of the Dub fam, that's the community we have built here because we get down in the comments and follow the channel's motto. Say what you say. That means say anything you want. How you feel. If you angry, upset, you want to put a joke down there, you want to put a paragraph or one sentence or emoji, get down there and do it. Because that's what this channel is for. This is the people's channel. No matter what you want to do, say what you say. You want to talk about Joy only wearing workout clothes all the time? Or you want to talk about Clifton wearing Paul Bunyan vest or whatever? Get down there and say that. So before we get started, as I tell y'all, I have to put the disclaimer because some people still ask. My reviews are a bit behind because I'm on a real estate journey and that consumes my time and throws my busy schedule off. But I'll try to continue to put out the good content so we can keep it going because I know a lot of people look for it. And as I say, just have some patience with me and let's go ahead and jump into this review. As we know, this is the final episode of Ready to Love, and this is supposed to be decision day. So they start off with the lovely couples. The lovely couples they're meeting at a restaurant known for brunch in DC called Georgia Brown's. Georgia Brown's is on 15th Street Northwest. It's like in the heart of downtown. It's probably about 2 blocks from the White House. It's a short walk. And I didn't even know Georgia Brown's was still open because, Georgia Brown probably been out more than 30 years in DC. And what was the hype? They created the lane of taking Southern cuisine and putting it on a higher gourmet level. But to me, Georgia Brown's been over a long time ago. But, they filmed there. Hope they enjoyed it, whatever. So, yeah, I probably ain't been to Georgia Brown in probably 10 years. But we see, so the couples are Clifton, Joy, Carmen, and Donovan, and P.O. and Dakir. And they're all mixing and mingling. They talking. And the first thing I noticed Carmen. Because, we saw a big change in Carmen last episode when she met Donovan's mother. Carmen now has gone back to her regular Vixen uniform. Now she's got the leopard print with the bare chest and open back and all that kind of stuff going on. It's like, yeah, that's who Carmen was. I didn't notice that she had blue contacts on, so I'm not gonna say that, but she's pretty much got her outfit, the tightness and all that, and got the things out and all that. So, as I joked and said that the lovely couples, but overall, other than Clifton and Joy, is giving like ready to settle. And I'm gonna get into Clifton and Joy about that anyway, because I just don't see the true connections at all here. So Tommy comes into the Georgia Browns and he says he's giving the benediction, to let the couples know that pretty much this is the end of the road and that they need to decide, have they found love? And the assignment is pretty much the last assignment is to have the ladies introduce their guys who they're selecting to introduce them to their families. And, Tommy sound like he's saying a speech at a graduation or whatever. And he's just like, I've been there every step of the way. And, you better be ready to love. So I guess now they ready for the world. Dr. Tommy gave them all the tools they need. So they got to get on that last and final exam. So Carmen is the first one to start it off. She is introducing Donovan to her mother and her father. And Carmen showed up again, even with her parents. She got the Carmen uniform on, the video vixen, Meg the Stallion aunt dress on is real tight. You could, she got the headlights poking out like she do. I think she got something that she put in there to make it look like they poking out. And she got the fringes on the arms of her dress. But you know what? I like that. For those who lived back in those times in like the late 80s, early 90s, guys and gals wore fringes on their clothes. Like, like a guy wear a jean jacket with like suede fringes on the back of it or whatever. We did that kind of stuff. It make you feel like you was like Rick James about to do a show or something. I missed that look. Yeah, if I can find me a jacket, your boy J Dub would get a jean jacket with the fringes on it. I like that. But that was a whole different time, a whole different thing. But when Donovan showed up, it looked like Donovan was going to do a Target run. He just had on some old regular stuff. He didn't look like he was excited to be there. It looked like he might have woke up from a long night at the casino. I don't know. I just didn't get like, hey, I'm meeting your parents and we're so excited. So Carmen's father, he's a retired military man, and her mother is actually a preacher. And I really wasn't, like I said, Donovan just never gave me the impression like he was so happy to be there or like he was just like really winning them over. But Donovan came in and brought Carmen's mother some flowers. And I'm thinking like he missed the mark on that, because why? Last time Carmen brought him some flowers and his mother some flowers. So I'm thinking like at least she did that. He could have brought Carmen some flowers. Maybe not. Maybe, who knows, the dad a gift, but at least bring Carmen something too. She brought you something. So that's why I knew, he wasn't thinking in the right mind. And as I said, he come in with his dry personality and trying to interview answers. But Carmen's parents were kind of like tough on him. They really wanted to get down to the nitty gritty, as the old folks say. They wanted to find out what was going on. And we learned that, well, even we spoke on it. Donovan has 2 children, and he's been married before. And Carmen's father wanted to know like what happened in the last marriage, and he was just saying like, well, I just want to step out. I guess I stepped out on my wife, and her father was like, well, what'll make the difference? You stepped out on your wife. Why you not gonna step out on Carmen? And he was like, well, we have that understanding, agreement, and communication. Like, it really wasn't talking about nothing. And Carmen turned into the love that chicken lady from Popeyes. Ooh, baby. Finding out that Donovan cheat. I don't know if that was the first time she heard that, but she knew her father wasn't going to be pleased with that information of him cheating on his wife. So, they seemed impressed or liked him or whatever. But as I said, I didn't really see anything. And one thing I did like, Carmen father did, like he kind of loosened up at the end and was talking like, hey, put her up here, give me the high five. And Donovan like, yeah, give it, and missed. He psyched him out. And I thought that was funny. It just showed kind of a little playful side, because his father came off serious. But in the end, her father said that the jury's still out. I'm not sure about this Donovan guy, but of course, whatever you decide, we're here to support you. And that's really what's all that's needed. It don't have to be like a scary interaction of the parents, because it's all up to the person to choose whether they want to be with that person or not. So, dad gets it, and that's good to know. So the next meeting we see with Joy, she's meeting Clifton to introduce Clifton to her sister, and they're meeting in Black Swan. Black Swan is actually in Baltimore, and there are a lot of like soul food places, as I was talking about, like Georgia Brown's, like started at over 30 years ago. There's places branching out that are successfully doing it, and the food looks better than Georgia Brown there. I've never been there because I kind of stay out of Baltimore. If you're not from Baltimore, Baltimore ain't really your thing. We don't really go up there like that unless it's for like, let's say the harbor, the aquarium or something like that. But Baltimore's another planet to us, about 45 minutes away. But I saw Clifton's sister. I say Clifton's sister, Joy's sister, Tina. She was there, and she looks a lot like Joy. She's just, I guess she's a little shade darker, and she actually doesn't have any hair. And I don't know if it's like for health reasons or it was a personal choice to shave all her hair, but her that look really fit her sister. And the more and more I looked at it, I'm like, wow, they really look like each other. I mean, I shouldn't be shocked they're sisters, but what really made me notice once Clifton sat down, I'm like, okay, there go Clifton is sharp. But you see how pretty Joy and her sister's teeth are, and then you see Clifton, he got all these sharp edges and rows and hills and valleys in his teeth. You know, I hope he addresses that postseason or whatever, because as I said, when we talk about Clifton, he got the big boy Range Rover and all that. You know, go get the teeth game straightened out. And I don't what do you call it? I don't recommend the doggy dentures because that looks fake to me. That look crazy. It look like you got a mouthpiece in your mouth. But there's ways to straighten that thing out. You know, we just can't let that go. We can't let that go. So as far as like, also when Clifton showed up, something I forgot to mention. You know, Clifton, how was Clifton? 45 years old. Looked like he was dressed like a 17-year-old. He coming with the motorcycle jacket. I mean, that's how we used to dress when we was in high school. And he got the Paul Bunyan shirt. I guess it's wrapped around his waist and is hanging. I'm like, who is he coming to meet or where is he going? Like, I get that older men, you know, who are middle-aged don't want to dress. You know, we're not in the mindset of like, oh, I'm ready for the retirement home, but I also don't want to dress like my son. But you got to find some balance. Like Clifton missed the mark or whatever. But, you know, what can I say? So right away, Joy's sister is pleased what she sees. She's like, she couldn't hold nothing back. Tia was like, oh, Clifton, oh, you are gorgeous. So I'm like, he got her right eating out the palm of her hand. So it really wasn't in a situation where she was grilling him or finding something out. She just kind of got into the question, which everybody's wondering and thinking about Joy moving away to Mexico, because that's what she does every year or whatever for work. And, you know, they kept it at a vague conversation. And Joy's sister asked Clifton, like, what does he want out of it? And he's like, togetherness. And rightfully so, she went back into that question saying, like, what does that mean? And he's like, this is what it means. He grabs Joy and gets close to her. And that's really still not saying nothing, just togetherness. But no, we're not looking for a marriage proposal. But at this point, yeah, what are y'all intentions? Both y'all in y'all 40s. What does this look like? What is the relationship direction it's going? You ready for love or what? Not just togetherness, because actually you're not going to be together because Joy's going away for 6 months. So, all righty. So, like I said, Clifton, he charmed his sister as soon as she walked in, so it really wasn't nothing going on, and he pretty much left out in a quick manner. And Joy's sister kind of had brought up where, like, is Joy really okay with her leaving? Is she concerned about the state of their relationship? And Joy gets kind of emotional because she knows that probably when she leaves, Clifton will be cheating in about 6 days or whatever. But Joy is just saying, like, pretty much, hey, I'm working and I want it to be okay, but if it don't work, it don't work. Because obviously Joy has had this problem before, and I can see how that could be problematic in having a serious relationship when you've left the country for 6 months. And people say, yeah, you can visit, but a lot of people need to have their significant other near, like maybe at least see them at least once a week or something. You know, I don't think you can go to Mexico every weekend or something like that. Because we talking 4,000 miles away, and you know Clifton's 45 with a 3-year-old, so he I don't think he could just do that. But what can I say? They're gonna try it out. Joy just wants to see if it's gonna work, but rightfully so, she's concerned. So we see Dakir. She's meeting her mother and her brother, and it wasn't an exaggeration. We finally get to see Dakir's mother looks just like her sister. So, I come to the conclusion. I catch a little flack over me saying Auntie Dakir. I don't care. This is my channel. This is our channel. And guess what? If I want to call her Auntie Dakir, that's what I want to call her. I'm going to say what I say. You may disagree, and that's how I feel. But when you look at Dakir's mother and you think either her mother looks really young or Auntie Dakir looks really... most of y'all know Auntie Dakir looks old and young at the same time. I didn't say she wasn't attractive. I didn't say she is not an accomplished woman. I'm not saying she's a terrible person. The lady looks young and old. I don't know if it's the wig or the mouth guard or whatever. I don't know. I'm not trying to figure it out. She looks young and old at the same time. That's my definition. So we see P.O. He pull up on a date. And he's in Tina's red Mercedes Benz, the CLS, the one she brought down to the lake house when she was having car trouble. So, I'm playing. P.O. said they filmed that scene when he was pulling up and act like Tina was coming in. She don't have a red CLS. That was P.O.'s CLS. So I was just trying to start something. He did come down in the comments and say they filmed me pulling up and said it was Tina. Cause I was figuring back then with Tina, I'm like, that looks like a fairly new car. How much car trouble could she actually have? Even though Mercedes-Benz can be known to be problematic, it's normally not so much in the newer years. It takes a little time. But we see Dakir brothers, and when I saw him, he had one of the largest heads I've ever seen on a human being. I don't know how Paul wasn't distracted by that. I was. I just kept looking like, look at that head. Like, not only is it big, I can't talk. I had a big head, but it was long and I was like, oh man. It kind of threw me off. But what I would say about this meeting is that we learn more and more about P.O. And I'm like, dang, it took like the last season to find this out. But that's how it's been. P.O.'s been creeping up throughout. Because everybody knows I done gave P.O. the business. But for real, like others, P.O. kind of grew on you and you kind of saw him differently as he went on because he kind of changed his attitude and the things that he say. Now, P.O. still says some little corny stuff like he got on the cue card because he backed it up or doubled down when he sat down with Auntie Dakir. He was telling her mother, like, I see that you are the reason for her beauty or this presentation. Like, P.O. stop it. I know Auntie Dakir look old, but she ain't that old where you gotta you gotta go overboard with it and all that kind of stuff. But P.O., you ain't bring Auntie Dakir no flowers or nothing, did you? I don't remember. Nah, you didn't. You didn't. You should have brought her some flowers. And P.O., I'm gonna get on you. P.O., you from the old school. When you left Georgia Brown, you let Auntie Dakir walk on the outside of you on that sidewalk. You too old for that. You know that. We from the old school. You keep your lady on the inside just in case a car jump the curb and you block it with your forearm. Come on, P.O. You know better. I do better on it. But, P.O.'s my man. He know it. Yeah, I'm just giving him a hard time. It's fun. So, like I said, we learned a lot about P.O. in just this one little segment. We learned P.O. was actually married for 12 years, and he actually has a set of twin daughters that are 27. Like, whoa, like, we never talk about that. I guess you really don't have to talk about that because there aren't children anymore. These are grown adults. But I thought that was kind of cool. Twins are kind of cool to me. So I like that. And after Auntie Dakir brother got like kind of slick with P.O. and talking, it had been brought up that P.O. is a PCP. And I actually had to look that up. And pretty much that's either like a nurse's assistant or like a nurse practitioner. And I'm like, damn. I mean, like P.O., like say P.O.'s like a Renaissance man. He's a system analyst. He's a music producer, and he's a nurse practitioner. I mean, like he always have a job. He got the skills, and I was just like really surprised. I was like, he didn't really talk about that before, or they edited it out. But I was impressed. I was impressed. Less like I'm impressed that Auntie Dakir works for NASA and she's an engineer. So I like to see my people who are accomplished and really doing things, because if everybody could do it, we would a lot of people would do it. So, but it was something very awkward about it. Like, Auntie Dakir's sister had mentioned, like, she's like, hey, I want grandbabies. I'm like, whoa, everybody like, whoa. And Dakir looked over at P.O. like, you can say no, right? Or whatever. And P.O. kind of backed up out of it, because I'm like, they just starting to get to know each other and be friends. Now you talking about grandbabies? No, I thought Auntie Kid had a grandbaby herself. So, but let's go figure. Let's go to Clifton and Joy. They're meeting up at Point Seafood Restaurant. That's actually in Southwest, in the Wharf area. And that's actually about, because like when you see different places, as I'm the DMV tour guide, when I talk about they be in Virginia, it's like right across the water, maybe a mile over is Virginia. So like not far from the Pentagon, like where the plane crashes happen and where they be doing little restaurants or whatever. The Wharf in Southwest is a place where like my people go to. We used to get like live seafood. Like, that's the spot. Even though they still have it, it's been kind of toned down. But they've taken all of that and turned it into very expensive real estate. Why? Because it's right on the water. You could walk into downtown DC. You could walk over to Virginia. It's just a very expensive piece of property. They should have been did that, because that makes sense. Because there's a lot of people who live on that water in those condos and all that. And they got like fabulous seafood restaurants throughout there or whatever, if you want to eat quality seafood. Even though I don't like it, it's too congested down there, but I thought it was brilliant. That's an excellent place to have real estate, like $1 million condos, like 1 bedroom, that's how it would go down there. But Clifton and Joy, they kind of go over the situation, like what's going on with her leaving for Mexico, because we know it's tough. It's tough. Joy gets kind of emotional because she was saying like I said, I think she's worried about Clifton, and I think worried about him. He gonna be creeping on her when they lock in their new relationship, and it should be a concern because again, this is a new budding relationship. It requires attention, watering. It's like, okay, I'm gonna commit to you. We together, and now I'm gonna be gone for 6 months, and you can see me when you see me, when you can fly down. Like that don't sound like no fun. But they pretty much end the date talking about, well, like since they going off, I guess like Joy is going off on a trip, that she's going to really enjoy having the sex with Clifton or whatever. And that was awkward. I'm like, y'all know y'all didn't have sex. I'm sure they had it even before the lake house or whatever for the retreat, because I go back to Clifton meeting Joy's sister. He had mentioned that Joy was OCD, so that means he's been over a house, like how she has all her t-shirts gathered up and all of that. I guess she's very super organized. I wish I was OCD because I don't feel like cleaning up, but I got to. But yeah, so you can't tell me that he's been visiting over Joy house and they haven't had the sex yet. But okay, let's play for the cameras or whatever. So they're gonna send each other off well. And Clifton pretty much says he has a surprise for her, I guess, on her going away party that they're gonna have. So we finally get to the decision day, and Tommy is, he's pretty much saying that the journey is over, and we're gonna see like, are the people actually going to choose each other? And we see Donovan and Carmen meeting at the bridge, and P.O. is meeting Auntie Dakir on the rooftop overlooking the city. And, when Auntie Dakir was walking in, I thought she was going to drop off her grandson or something at the couch or whatever waiting, but she was coming in. Auntie Dakir looked nice coming over the bridge, meeting Uncle Paul. So Joy, she meets up with Clifton, and they actually meet at a winery. And what I learned about the winery is probably about maybe 2 hours away from Potomac. And I'm like, why? Like it's closer to Richmond, Virginia. Like that's nowhere near the DMV, DC, Potomac, nothing. That's a car ride out there. That's a day trip. But I'm sure they could have found some other winery. We got closer wineries than that. Not that we have a lot because we don't have a lot of land around, but there are closer wineries than 2 hours away. But okay. We see Joy, and she stay laughing. She remind me of Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons. She always got some dumb laugh. She always laughing about something. I don't see it as a person being happy and joyful or what have you. It's just she got some kind of weird laugh that she feel like she got to laugh all the time, and it gets on my nerves. And Clifton's happy to see her because he's saying like, she looking bang. He like, damn, he looking at what's going on. Joy had a black sweater dress on, and she always wearing something basic to me. I'm thinking this is just me. I could be wrong. I never been on TV, but if I'm coming on TV, well, if I got the clothes or not, when I come on TV, I'm gonna have the clothes when I get there. If I got to hit the credit card and charge up a new wardrobe because I'm on TV. But Joy's wearing her regular sweater dress. Not that Joy isn't attractive. Joy's actually my favorite lady out of the whole bunch. But I just need to step her wardrobe game up. Maybe she only wears her good stuff when she go to Mexico, when she's doing her singing thing she do on the resort. So we see Donovan, when he's at the bridge with Carmen, he's letting her know that he's choosing her, and he gives her, it looks like he had a passport and a plane ticket. He's choosing her, and he's going to surprise her, or he's going to give her, when she's ready, a trip anywhere in the world. I was like, you could buy that? Like you had the ticket, you go up, online and say, what's the destination from DC to anywhere in the world, and then you hit the button and it's $7,000. I don't know. It seems kind of ridiculous to me, but okay, maybe somebody know. I don't know. I'm not the one. So we get to PO, and I could tell that PO was reluctant or had some kind of reservation going on, but because it's been like that on both sides. But PO pretty much told Auntie Dakir that he's choosing himself, which I thought was kind of corny, because I'm just thinking PO just could have said, hey, we're just getting to know each other and we're just building on our connection this late in the game. Maybe if you want to do it after the show or whatever, but I'm not ready to, get in a full committed relationship. Maybe that was his way of letting her down easy. But I still believe Auntie Dakir would have said no as well, just for that fact, because Auntie Dakir kept saying, I need to have that spark. She was saying the same thing like P.O. Like, I need to have that spark when my man come in the room and need to be head over heels, and she deserves all that. So she was nice about it. P.O. did bring her some flowers, and she asked him for a hug like twice. Like your aunt do. Come here, baby. Give me a hug. Give your Auntie Dakir a hug. So, they not going to move forward. And I think it's for the best anyway. I think P.O. like PYT. So it's just that simple. Not aunties. So I just didn't like I'm choosing myself. So we see Clifton. He's nervous. I'm thinking he's about to get engaged or something, because I'm just thinking like, you and Joy are very comfortable with each other. So y'all made a pact long time ago. Y'all was just stringing the other people along throughout the process so y'all can make sure y'all get to the winery or whatever in Virginia, not Potomac. And of course, Joy burst out into laughter. I think that's the only way she know how to respond to anything. Like, Joy, that job in Mexico, it's over. You're done. You're not going to be making no more money. She'll probably start laughing. But anyway, they choose each other. They ready to love, and they're going to live off happily ever after until, she go off to Mexico. So pretty much that was it. I'm so glad that the season is over. It didn't give me what I was looking for. Why I put it on a slightly higher pedestal, because again, I'm from here. I'm not from Potomac, but I'm from this area. So I was expecting more. I was expecting to see more flavor from the people like who live here, because most of these people are not from here. Some are, but most aren't. So hopefully the reunion is going to like bring something that we haven't seen before, like maybe give us some information that fills us in, because we know they hold a lot from us. So again, drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought. What y'all thought about the season. What you thought about this episode. And we're going to continue on and just wait for the finale. And as I tell y'all all the time, y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.